it is different for us to not need to go there and win out or make sure that we're playing our best there to try to get a chance at a last minute bid. But we haven't really talked about that a whole lot. We've just been talking about how we perform and how we train and really how to get through classes right now. So they're getting through finals. And this weekend was so huge for us on how we performed. There's not a whole lot of advice you got to give your kids anymore, right? Like they feel like, hey, we're in a really good spot and we're just awaiting the bid.
Going into this weekend, I know you play Kansas, but you'll face Oklahoma with their big winning streak. Is that something you guys look at as something to, I guess, a notch on the belt type thing that you can do over the weekend to improve not only your postseason standing, but to do something a lot of people think that you can't do?
Yeah, we'll take one game at a time. We're first needing to take care of Kansas and make sure that we don't let Bryn Minor get another win off of us, and I thought they pitched us really well and kind of kept our offense off balance, and so I'm excited to have another chance at them again. And we really are just one game at a time. And I think like playing Oklahoma is only a plus game for us. Like there's no lose in that game. And it's only fun to be able to play the number one team in the nation, and we feel like for 2 games we played with them really well. And there's a huge play that Avu makes on the wall that we think decided a game for them. We like our chances. I love our team. We feel really solid and sound of how we're playing the game right now. And so, again, one game at a time. And when we play OU, it'll be a quality, seasoned, really good game and helping us only to move forward in postseason.
Taylor kind of mentioned it a little bit along those lines. When you guys played Oklahoma that first time, a lot of people were playing Big 12 softball for the first time.
Yeah.
How much kind of season worth of experience prepare you for that?
Yeah, it's very different. Like we only start 2 freshmen, but we have used many different players and positions that didn't play in the Big 12, both either in that position or maybe defensively. So I think we've grown a ton over our conference schedule, and we only, had 2 losses coming in, and then when you lose a little bit and you get knocked up a little bit, like knocked around a little bit, then you just get tougher and you get wiser and you just learn so many growth lessons that we need to learn. So I would take this team right now against anyone in just their platform of learning how to be resilient and tenacious and the most hungry team.
With you're officially now in postseason with regards to Big 12 and then eventually regional, how much does it help having that one game at a time mentality, knowing that if you don't take care of business today, it could be over tomorrow?
Yeah, I think right now we still get 3 more games that we know are coming for certain. I think we've taken that idea all year. Like let's be right where our feet are at. Let's train right now for this team and for this moment, and make sure that we don't let the moment be bigger than us, and we just do our very best to let our talent show. And so I love that it won't be a different philosophy for our kids from how we've trained all year to postseason and how that looks any different. Like we always train like we had something to prove all year. That we needed this year to be a breakout year, and our kids knew that and have embraced that. So I don't think that changes as we move into wherever we go. Like we're there to be the most hungry, aggressive team that day. And then whatever happens, then we'll rebound. And now with what we've learned in conference, we're resilient, we're tougher, we're stronger, like we're a really concreted team. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it unfolds.
When you first took over here, Tech hadn't been to a regional. This is obviously one of the goals you had for when you took over as the head coach. How does the expectations match how you're feeling taking the team there now, as opposed to what you'd hoped it was going to feel like?
Feels a lot better now, just because when you go through some years of struggle, then like when you're in the glory part of it, it feels that much sweeter because of the struggle and because of kids that have just stayed with it, like our senior class has, and how they've gone through. Like each one of them gone through a lot of stuff to get to this place and be able to have this moment and to be able to beat Kentucky on senior weekend and continue to play forward in their year. Like all of them have very deep storylines on how they play, as well as does our junior class. So it's like I'm just really happy for them, and I love my team, and it's just so sweet when you love your team and you feel like you've done it the right way and you feel proud. And that's how we feel.
When you take a program to someplace they hadn't been before, they don't know what they don't know.
Exactly.
How much of a weapon can that be? Because while there's expectations to play well and to win, there's no nerves because they don't know what they don't know yet.
Yeah. I mean, early on we were like, if we do this, we can host. If we do this, we can do this. And they're just like, what? And so again, we just are trying to make it be about the game as much as possible, just about softball in general. Like, how do we train for this softball? How do we this softball game? How do we prepare for this opponent and not let it be so much about all the distraction things that will come with it, and that we're just really trying to make it be about the game and about this team and about moving forward and playing forward and just being excited and proud of like the records that we've put up are super awesome, and we'll be proud of that, but we'll just take it game for game and moment for moment.
How do you think Erin and Missy are looking going into this weekend?
I think this weekend was really huge for them on being able to be a 1-2 punch throughout the game. Like, they didn't finish the whole game, and kind of in conference, that's how we had been winning, is one of them finished the whole game and the next kid would go and finish the whole game. And so it was good for them to, one, kind of be a starter and one to be a closer. And I think we'll need both. I think we need both of them to be their best self and be their most confident self and most poised self. And I think nothing helps that like winning.
With the regular season being over, was there one game during the regular season that you look back and said, this is where I saw how good this team could be?
I think early on, maybe we even surprised ourselves a little bit whenever we go to the Mary Nutter and we just had a really good outing there. Like, we played very quality softball up at that point. We hadn't played any ranked opponents until then, and we played ranked opponents, and it was like we still are just taking care of business. And we were right in the game with Washington, who's now number 2, and we lose that game 4-1. So I think then we knew, like, wow, all right, we have something special. And then I again knew, like, after we started to struggle a little bit in conference, and then we came back on top and took care of the opponents we needed to take care of. And we have a heartbreaker at Oklahoma State in a really hard setting, and then we rebounded and did what we needed to do, late. And then we came back against Kentucky. We trained hard. We reset our mindset, and now we're where we need to be again. Yeah, to me, you have to have a mature ball club that can do that. You could very easily just rolled over and said, "Hey, we've had a great year. Like, look at our run," and now we're happy with it. And this team didn't do that. They're hungry, and they're still willing, and they're still actively seeking it. And I mean, that's really cool. That's what you want your team of women to be.
Well, I guess we'll relive that moment real quick. Just why not? It was a special moment for you. You talked about pressing a little bit, during that whole stretch.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the relief gone as you guys head into the postseason now, or the pressure gone?
I mean, yeah. Like, now we get to, this is postseason, what we've been working this whole year for. Like, even in January when we got here early and we put in hours and hours every day, it was all keeping postseason in mind. So now that we're here, we can't, let anything get too big and just have some fun with it. And I'm really looking forward to competing at a really high level. It's the best part of the time.
I know you guys have Kansas first, but when you play Oklahoma, they'll be in the midst of that 38-game winning streak. I mean, how special would that be to end that and potentially get you guys into a championship game?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, the game doesn't know. And if we go out there and just have fun and we compete as best as we can, and I'm sure our coaches are going to prepare us as well as we can too, I think we'll be just fine.
What do you remember? I apologize for keep going to Oklahoma, but it's one of them. From that series, and what you guys maybe could have done a little bit better to get one or two from them.
I think we just have to make adjustments faster as hitters. I mean, obviously our pitching staff is one of the best in the nation, but we can hit 1 through 9 in the lineup too, and I think if we prepare through practice the next couple of days, we'll be ready.
How much can a great weekend help you guys as far as the postseason?
I think it'll just help us with some momentum. Like, I think coming off of Kentucky, that was a great momentum swing for us. We can play with anybody, I feel like, in the nation, and we're excited to go into regionals for the first time in my career. It's going to be really, really awesome.
Building off that Kentucky game, do you think it will help you guys a lot more playing like a team like them, a higher caliber team going into the conference tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it was just fun to play a non-conference team. I mean, in the Big 12 we play super high-caliber teams also, but just to get somebody else out of our conference, definitely had a postseason feel to it. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and we all enjoyed it, and we got 2 wins.
You mentioned going to the regionals for the first time in your career. How special is it to do with this team, with everything you guys have done this year?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to go with any other group. I mean, I love every single one of my players, and we really have something special here, and we're so tough, and I can't wait to see how far we go.
Given the fact that you guys know that you're going to a regional, does that kind of let the pressure off a little bit this week in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, I mean, we know this like we're not gonna end our careers there or anything like that. We just get to go in there and compete and hopefully surprise some people. We just get to have fun.
Does this team step up when it comes to? I mean, last year you guys were trying to think you knocked out. I think it was Baylor, but now this year you guys have already set yourself up really well going into these different tournaments. Do you think this team can take that next step even higher this year?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, when we just keep it simple and we just play our game, we can beat anybody. So we're gonna go in with a lot of confidence and just expect to win every time.
Well, Carly, we asked Jessica there at the end. I mean, knowing you guys are going to a regional, does that kind of take away the pressure of going into this Big 12 tournament? You guys can just go out there and try to, knock off the giant in your pool.
Yeah, I think there's definitely pressures when you know that that's your last games. And so we can just go in and know that we're going to play the next weekend, hopefully, and just play free and just play excited and fun.
Saying that, I mean, I know you guys play Kansas first, but you're going to be taking on Oklahoma, and they'll have that 38-game winning streak. How special would it be to get things rolling there in Oklahoma City and knock them off?
Oh, that would be so awesome, especially they kind of have a home field advantage, like being in Oklahoma and stuff. So, I mean, that's the goal, and we know we can do it, and we know that we can hang with anyone, so that would definitely be really awesome.
What are some of the things you guys did or didn't do against them in the series earlier this season?
I think we could make adjustments more quickly in the box. I mean, they have great pitching, obviously, so I think if we can just barrel up some balls and get some hits to string together, I think that will help us win.
Where do you feel this team is at after the non-con series with Kentucky?
I think everyone's feeling good. We get some time to rest our bodies and kind of get rejuvenated and going into this weekend. But it was nice to play somebody who's not part of our conference, especially somebody so good like Kentucky, and to get the win was awesome.
Does it reaffirm the belief with what you guys did late in that game when it was down, but to come back and score 7 runs in that 6th inning and really get that win, get that sweep? Did that raise the belief of this team?
I think for sure, especially since such a good team again. Kentucky's really good, and especially coming from the SEC. We just played our game, and nobody really freaked out throughout the game. Even when we were losing by a lot, we knew that we could come back, and we just stayed constant and believed in our talent. So I think that everyone's feeling good after that.
What's Coach telling you guys now that you guys are officially in the postseason now with Big 12 play and more than likely a regional berth?
Well, we haven't really talked about it yet. We've kind of just been taking it game by game and just talk about that opponent that we're playing that week. And so as we move into Big 12 this weekend, we'll talk about kind of how our games went the last time that we played those people. But as of now, we've just taken it game by game and prepared for that team.
Taylor, asking both of them, I mean, do you guys feel, since you guys are going to go to a regional, is there less pressure on you guys going into Oklahoma City? You can just go out there and, try to go win the whole thing and not worry about, hey, this is the end of the season for us?
I think that's definitely freeing for us. We kind of had a feeling it was a good possibility, and we believe in ourselves enough to get through it. But we're just really pumped to play people in conference again, get those games back, or just show them what we got.
One of those, the second game you guys will play against Oklahoma, they won't play again until that game. I think they've won 38 straight. I mean, is that a goal to kind of make good from the series earlier this year against them and potentially make it to the championship game?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Honestly, I feel like we gave them a good game, and we can look back and know what we did differently and what we can change going into this one. And I'm excited about it. That's the game I'm most pumped about.
What do you guys think you can do? I mean, what were some of the things you could have done better against them in the series earlier this year?
I just think it was our first series, and we have a lot of young people, and they were just getting used to what a series was and what conference was like, and we've really gained more maturity and poise overall, and so I think that's a huge thing just going into a game in general.